Okay, this is all there is, and this is everything, and it's already complete. Everything is already complete as it is. This is so simple and ordinary. This is just saying it's what it is, and it's already complete, so there's nowhere to go. It's already this. So that idea, that belief that there's something wrong, there should be reaching something, or what can I do to make it right? It's only a misunderstanding. But that can be a huge misunderstanding. It can be so embodied that it's so real and seems so normal. So there seems like two worlds, talking in two worlds, like talking like, yeah, of course it's this, and what there's nothing about doing going on because there's no one. So there's already that what is happening, and that's everything. It's very simple, it's very normal, it's very tiny and nowhere to go. And then there's the story when there's I am here and I'm living my life, and there's a road or there's somewhere to go, and this is not right yet, or I should do something about this, or what can I do about what's going on, or and then everything seems to happen to me, to you. That's when there's me, then it seems like me is the center of everything. So when there's me, there's also thinking of, not only thinking, there's the belief that everything is happening to you. Circumstances happen to you. Thoughts are yours. Feelings are yours. So that so can be so strong and convincing that it's so the normal way. And then there's this talking, and it seems like, oh, it's talking about something else. It's talking about there's something else. It's completely out of the story. It has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with circumstances. There is no time, and there's also no distance and space and all. That's only when people can abstract, then there can be believing in the concept of time and distance. It's a concept. There's this, and that's everything. There's no before, there's no after, there's no here or there. It's crazy because that's the normal way of how we live our lives, and how we go to some other place and it seems like another place is better than this place, or that looks better than this, and before I did this and now I'm doing that. So it's always talking in time and talking about somebody else or some other place. And when there's coming here, there is no other place. There's only this. This is everything, this room, maybe. There's no outside. It's crazy. There's no outside. This is everything. We're so sure in a way, like we know that there's an outside, there's a street. When I go out of my house, there will be a street and other countries and all that. And then hearing this is so literally, so this is everything. There's nothing outside. There's also nothing inside. It's even more strange, maybe. There's that what is happening. It's not happening to you. Can be a sensation, but even that everything is an appearance. So nothing is real. When nothing is real, it's an appearance of, you could say, energy, and it seems like a lamp and a wall and a body. But it doesn't have any meaning. That's what we think. We give it meaning. We give it an importance. And we think like everything is happening to me. And this gives me a nice feeling. So this is good. And this is an awful feeling. So I have to change that. I want to change that. Everything is neutral. Life is neutral. It's already complete as it is. So there's nowhere to go. It's that what is happening. There are no borders. There are no borders. Oh, wait, there's somebody.
Mit Dings mal wieder gesprochen, mit
Kan jij dat doen, Sean?
dem Coachie?
There's somebody
Wat
talking.
zei je nou?
Kan jij, Petra,
Ja.
can you mute yourself? Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay. So when there's talking about this, it's the very simple, literally what is. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't go anywhere. It is a hand, a feeling. And when there's no time and no distance, there's also, the body is also not real. So there's no inside. So there's a feeling somewhere in space. There are no, we think like this is the border of my body, like my shoulders and all that. That's when we see it. Even when you all already close your eyes, you can't even know where the border is. Somewhere it seems like, but we assume that everything you feel is inside the body. And there's this suggestion that it isn't. It's somewhere in space, you could say, or somewhere energetic. It's energy, but it's not inside. It's not happening to you. That assumption, that belief that you are here inside this body and there's the outside, that's the separation. And when there's that feeling, I'm inside this body and there's an outside world and that's happening to me, and inside here, there are feelings, they're mine and all that. There can be a feeling, and most of the time there is a feeling of loss, of something gone wrong. There's something missing. I'm not good enough. There's something because of this or that. So when they're little children, really little children, there's only one. And then suddenly the brain can abstract and see distance and time and all that. And then suddenly it seems like, oh, it's this body. It's not like very rational, but it's in the body and there's somewhere else. There's somebody else over there. And then suddenly there's separation, and it's maybe not in one time it's sinking in, but there's contracted energy, seems like, and that, and then the whole story is starting. And there's also that drive to make it right, because there's a feeling this isn't right. There's this dissatisfaction. It's something going on. The strange thing is when that's lost, there's not feeling like this is right and this is the universe or this is the paradise and all that. It's what it is. That's completely different. There's nothing being busy with anything. So it's just what is happening. Sound. It's that. It doesn't go anywhere. Or even this meeting, it doesn't go anywhere. That's strange because also those meetings go anywhere. We think like this is a meeting and I can maybe understand, or maybe there will something happen that it will be more free or less me or things like that. That in the stories, most of the time is something going on like that. And in the same time, there's hearing no. It's already complete. It's exactly that what is going on, that phase. But there's no continuation. There's no life of someone. It's hand, a face, a feeling, wall, the floor. There's no difference. Nothing is more important than anything else. That's that's the freedom. It's unconditional love. Huh? Wat zeg je nou? We have a dog and then there's some trouble with it. But there's someone in... Zal ik die persoon toelaten? Er staat iemand in de wachtruimte. Er is iemand in de waiting room. Okay. Wait. I have to do something. Wait. We have a dog and I think he's a little bit sick, so there will be some going on. So, but John is busy with it, so we can go on. Okay. So this was what I wanted to say. I don't remember where I was going, but that doesn't matter. When this is going on, when there are questions, there can be questions, or there can be talking about any issue. Maybe there's some issues. Some people have more issues. Some people are more about relation or about money. And there can be a lot of issues or some issues in the story. Or there's some other questions. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It can be anything. There's no wrong or silly questions. It's what is coming. That's it. So we'll see what will happen. Mm. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hey.
I was just listening to a part of the news, and there was this. Yeah, it's a story about so the man that's tortured and died a
Mm.
few days ago.
Mm.
But then I also was thinking about unconditional love. So, and yeah, it's really unknowable or not understandable that this torture is also unconditional love.
Yeah, because we think about love is always about that personal love, and that's something that's a good feeling in a way. So it's taking care or caring about someone. That what we think about love. So unconditional love is everything. There's nothing right or wrong with anything. It doesn't mean it's okay or something, because that's something completely something else. But it's what it is. That's pain can happen also. It's not it's not what we do normally is looking at it, and then there's a looking at it, when something is happening, there's a divider, because there's someone looking, and there's two, so there's always right and wrong. That's the normal way of how we used to look at things, and right and wrong, it doesn't feel good, and it's painful to see that and all that. When that whole thing is lost, there's no one looking. So there's what is happening. You can't even imagine that. So when there's talking about unconditional love, is that. So it's not in the story. That's you can't say in the story there's unconditional love, because that's in the story there's always two, and there's nice and not nice and all that. But there's somewhere a longing for that unconditional love. We call it like with mothers and children, but also in mothers and children, there's some beliefs and things going on. There's also two. They believe I am here and the child is there, so I have to take care, or I have to so anything like that. Unconditional love is what is happening. There's nothing changing anything. You can't even imagine. It's suddenly there can be moments. It can be like, oh, that's what she or somebody else is talking about. Oh, it's not a feeling. It's completely something else. Oh, but you can't, when you're in the story and busy with things, you can't even imagine. It's impossible, because there's thinking in two. So yeah, that
Mm,
doesn't work like that.
no, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When there's the story, everything is real and solid and really happening, and there's someone doing it, and there's responsibility and guilt and all that. So in the story, there's a lot of things going on, because it's real and solid, and I'm important, and what's going on there, and there's an over there in other country or something like that. Everything is so really, and there are a lot of opinions about what's going on. And then this is nothing is real. It's an appearance of energy. So there's no story. There's no one. So there's no one inside also. We assume that there's someone inside and someone is suffering from what somebody else is doing and the whole story, and it's because of that, and the whole story is going on. This is completely out of the story. So it knocks every belief, it knocks it down. So there's no time. So there's no even before. Even it didn't happen, because there's only this, and it's energy like that. There is no story. But because we live in time and distance, and we can abstract that and believe and go on and making stories and then understanding the news or something else. So then there's everything seems so real and affecting everything, and consequences and all that. So it's a complete story of all what is going on. And then it's so complicated, and doing the right thing and wanting to feel good, and it's amazing. It doesn't work. So we're trying this, and it's a mess in a way. And there's hearing this message, and it's like, it's completely, you can't even understand in that way. Maybe there's somewhere an understanding. What When there's the story, it's gone, and there's still that whole thing going on. This is so completely out of it. Has nothing to do with circumstances. The story, circumstances are also not real. It's energy seen in that way, and then it's already gone. There's no time. That's amazing. No time. Now, it doesn't mean yesterday or something. There's nothing before. There's no continuation. That's how we live. We continue living. We exist, and there was something before and after. When there's no time, where is me? It's just impossible. So even that is already difficult to understand. So this is not about understanding and all that. It doesn't matter. It's somewhere can be a recognition. Somewhere there can be a resonance, something, and not with the understanding. So, but it doesn't matter. It's somewhere there's something going on. Like, oh, yeah, there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it, and then something is yeah. And that's what normally happens in meetings like this or conversations. You can't even talk about it afterwards when you felt like, yeah, that's it, what she or he is talking about, and then and you want to say to someone else, and you don't know what to say anymore, because how can you say this? So it's not graspable. That's also the freedom. It's so simple. It's so amazingly simple. It's already a hand. It's the table. It's that. So that it's not special. Rose is not special in that way. No, of course not. It's already. So there's that table. Yeah, then that's the table. So it's that simple. And we look to some feeling or something happening somewhere. There's a longing maybe to happen, that it happens to you or somewhere, or to this body or all that. It's the loss of all those beliefs. There are so many beliefs about what's going on, and meaning and importance. There's that identification with what I am and what I did and all that can be very strong, but it doesn't matter. Then that's what's happening. Those feelings and ideas, then those ideas are there. Doesn't matter. They don't have any meaning, but those ideas can be there. Then there are more ideas. They don't have any meaning. So ideas can be there, the table, anything, but it's neutral. Nothing is more important than anything else. Very simple. Too simple, maybe, sometimes. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Why?
Yeah, that question brought up something for me. I a couple of years ago or more now, I went through an illness and I experienced extreme pain, and probably over the course of a year. And inside myself, all I was just saying was like, please God, please God. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't, just like getting through this torture. I would say that I felt like my body had kidnapped and tortured me. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so now when I listen to this, non-duality, and I used to go on retreats and do all this, so there's a kind of roadblock now for me, because I'm like, I can't make sense of that in a way.
Of that pain, you mean? Or what do you mean? What you can't make sense of what?
Like, I can't really make sense of the personal experience of going through that, coming out of it. And I don't have the same perspective anymore. And it feels like when I listen to the non-duality stuff, I can see it as, this is a very, very tidy philosophy. And I don't know how to just overlook this thing I went through. That I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how to make sense of it.
But I think you can't. I can't.
Yeah.
There was something happening, and I don't know why or how that's going. So I don't know. But there's this sitting, there's that feeling, and that's it. And there can be talking about something that happened, but I don't know anything about what was going on and making sense of it or explaining or things like I can't. I can't explain anything. It's this is too simple in that way that I don't know things, but it's what it is. So that's not something special I own or something. It's even not that. It's just when there's that feeling, maybe a feeling happening this moment, or how can you say that, then that's everything. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no past. Being busy with the past is making it into something real and trying and all that. There's no past. There's this. There's sitting. That's already everything. That's what we're looking for. That sensation somewhere, maybe. It seems like it's in the body. Doesn't matter. When there's that sensation, then that's it. That's life. Full on. Neutral. Not to you, because there's no one inside. It's life. A sensation, or a body, or the table. Life doesn't have a story or time. That's what people or brain can make of it, but it isn't. Life is what it is. The wall. It's not about us, because what we do is that we think that we are there and everything is happening through this person in this body, and there's a life and there was something going on and all that. That's what I call the story. Life doesn't see a story. Life isn't a story. Life is what it is. And it's like hand, sound, wall, sensation, face, body. It's energy without meaning or anything, without story.
Yeah, I think when the body and the mind is peaceful, it's very simple, right, to take that in. And then when it's not, I wasn't able to find that.
Yeah, of course. That's normally what's going on when there's still me going on somewhere that jumps on when there's pain. There's woof. How can I deal with it? It's just that can be so strong. When that's lost, there can what I know, there can be moments of that too. And then suddenly it's just not going on. So there's crying. There can be crying or I don't know, whatever, or thoughts. And that's it. The meaning is lost. When there's still meaning, there's looking for meaning in that. It makes that's in a way can be the suffering too.
Mm.
It's like what I understand. There's making it into because we think like there's a nice philosophy, and when there's personal life and there's not such nice circumstances, what then? And what's happening then? Because that's normally I can understand that. That's of course then that's the question because then that's what the moment that me jumps in and trying to deal with what's going on or not being able to or all that.
Mm.
What only I can tell is that when it's lost, and there are circumstances who are sad and painful and all that. There can arise that idea of, oh, what can I do? Those ideas can arise, but they don't go on. So you're left in that pain or in that sadness, and there's no escape from it. And then after a while, it's gone, and then there's something else going on. It's you could say it's not being able to make a story of it because it's like I don't know how to do that. It's because no, it's not coming. It's those thoughts are not there, and when those thoughts are there, and then there's still that me going on. There seems to be a little bit of story of looking for meaning and what. Then that's what's going on. It's energetic. It's not you doing that. It's energetic. It's life being like that.
Mm.
So there's no better. This is what I describe. What was happening here is not better than something else. It's not better. It's not feeling nicer or some whatever than what you have. But that's what we normally think that it would be better when there's no me anymore. It's not. It's not better. It's what it is. Can be really painful or sad or anything.
Thank you.
Yeah. What we normally do when there's me going on and this is my life, there's something not complete. It's not a night. There's something missing. There's something going on. So it can be jumping on anything, but it also can jump on non-duality meetings and thinking, oh, maybe it's me. That whole me is still going on, and that's why there's still that I'm still in the story, I'm still this and all that. So it jumps on me and thinks like, oh, that's the reason that's not like a fully freedom on that. It's the misunderstanding that there's somewhere there is a better place or a paradise or somewhere else. That in that way, this talking, this message is a disappointment because because it's not making anything better. It's what it is. And normally what me does is when you don't want something, you look for something better or something, another place or another feeling or anything. And this is saying, no, it's what it is. So the disappointing is it's not a better life. It's already that what is happening is already it. And normally when there's me going on, there's that feeling of looking for change, for something else, because there's an idea, because of this, because of those circumstances, because no money, because of that person, because of I don't feel good and I can change or I have to change. No. When those circumstances, those person, that when that's going on, then that's what's happening. There's no escape. So this is not a better life. There is no my life. So you could even say sometimes that what's happening is even more full on because there's nothing going on trying to change it or do something with it. And the freedom, where I'm talking about the freedom, is not a feeling. It's not a feeling free of freedom, a feeling of happiness. Of sometimes I see people talking about that. It's complete. It's paradise. It's a feeling of freedom. All that. No, it's the freedom. Is that it's everything. So it's not like during the day feeling like, oh, I feel so free and all that. No, not at all. No, there's what is happening. What is that? Can be walking or pain or the wall or it, just normal. What already is going on. It has nothing to do with knowing or special things. No. This is also nothing you can apply, or how do you say that? That you make, take some sentences of it and then try to deal with it in your life. That's new concepts about how to deal with what's going on and maybe saying, this is what it is, or saying it's what's happening, or maybe other things that can be told in those meetings. It's a new story. Affirming of confirming that there's someone who has to deal with life. This is completely something else. This is saying there is no one. So there's no one dealing with life. That's there's someone and there's dealing with life. That dealing with life, that part is completely puff out of the window. There's life. And that someone is also out of the window. There's life. That's everything. There's not someone, there's no dealing, so there's also no dealing with anything. It's life, full on. Wall, feeling, tea. It's not always a feeling, of course. It's just neutral. But it's not inside this body. There is no inside this body. It's one. It's one. It's energy.
Hi, Rose.
Hey.
I love. So, I'm not sure if words are going to come out, but
Yeah, it
so
doesn't.
I think I was talking with another speaker yesterday in a one-to-one, and somehow realizing that the feeling was like that there's like a feeling that's kind of labeled as something being wrong, and I've heard said that that's the me sort of. But I think there's kind of been a sort of misunderstanding that if there's sort of a heavy feeling or a seeming reaction to, say, a news story or health issue, that means there's a me where that's the me reacting. But like, and thinking the feeling, so just call it the feeling of something wrong is wrong, and like and a resistance against just the feeling itself that I shouldn't feel that's wrong,
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
in
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
serious pain, like oh, I shouldn't feel bad about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I shouldn't feel
Or
bad about
right,
feeling bad and all that.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just such a loop, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, and it's funny because when kind of that thought I think didn't occur during the meeting, but after that,
Yeah.
well, what is wrong with the feeling that it's wrong? There's just
Yeah.
like, trying to talk yourself into feeling good about every situation, or what good could come,
Yeah.
or how do I
Yeah.
deal with not
It's that.
liking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's that trying to deal with it and hearing, oh, there's nothing wrong, and then trying to
yeah. It's like
apply that.
sometimes you
Yeah.
say like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
sometimes
You
it's
can. Oh
like
God.
crying. It's
It's a complete mess in that way. Yeah. 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 Of course.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
It's
So it's
endless.
like,
It's the same story, of course, because
yeah,
it's so strong that you can do something about it, and
yeah,
that's it, and that helplessness in the first place, because that's not there anymore after a while. But that first, when there's something hearing in this message, feels like helplessness, or not no power or no free will and all that. It's like, oh my God, what? Oh, help! Because that's what
yeah,
we used
yeah,
to. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's more it, and that doesn't mean it when it jumps on it's endless. That can it's like a play, but that
yeah.
doesn't matter. But
It's
it's
also funny that the person I was speaking to is so like really kind of there's nothing wrong with anything, and
yeah,
not giving any like, oh well, that's the I mean, sometimes I think this is heard, I mean, to say the by the me, even though there isn't one, that it's wrong, like anytime it's said like, oh, that's the me finding whatever fault or whatever, and is that's wrong. It's immediately just like, oh no, that shouldn't be happening. Like, but
yeah,
and then even if you say
yeah,
like, no,
yeah,
there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with
yeah.
it, it's still like, oh man.
Yeah, well,
That,
that's
yeah.
what you could say. What I could say, like when there's something being busy with what's going wrong and this is wrong, that's that whole me construct, because it loves that complication and being busy with it and trying to find a way in it and all that, because that's the continuation of that being in the story and existing and all that. And when there's nothing going on, it's not important, then it's like, oh, it doesn't like that, because it's like, oh, but it's important because I'm leading you to some good place or anything, in
Yeah.
the end. Well,
Yeah, I think like, yeah, I think I just hear that as, oh no, just as you just say that, it's like, oh God, the me is bad and it needs to like,
yeah,
I know,
it
and
loves
I
that.
can't do anything. No one can do anything about it, but yeah.
Yeah, but that helplessness, that feeling of, oh, no free will, that what is what that you don't even say, can't know what to say anymore, because that's like, but no free, but how can I then do that, because that's my decision and all. That feeling is already like, oh, there's something. Yeah,
Mm.
recognizing it, like, oh, it's not about me finding a new way, there's no me. But that's completely something else. That's more frightening than finding a new way.
Sometimes it can seem very relieving for a short time, like, oh, like,
Yeah.
and then thinking about it happens, and then like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's no one who can lead you in a certain direction, or saying this is right or this is wrong. It's being busy with it. That's that whole complicated me construct. It's not real, of course, because it's thoughts and all that. Well,
Yeah.
the story is something like that's me.
It sure seems to fight very hard.
Yeah, but when it's when there's something going on, like this is hearing what's being said here, and there's something going on. There's no one, and there's no right and wrong. There's then that fights for its life because it's then losing his power or her power. Why do you say that? And then, oh my God, because it was the most important of all, like that whole construct, and suddenly it's losing it's not that important anymore, of it's like questions, and then
But then
whoa. Yeah,
it's the only one that hates it though.
yeah,
It's making the problems and then hating all the like, or saying like, oh, this is terrible, like
yeah,
miserable. This is misery. This is suffering. This is
yeah. But
like,
it's so simple. It's more simple because it's that sensation, and when you look at it, it's already making it into a story and awful or suffering or all that. It's that sensation somewhere, feeling. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
I'm just gonna jump back in for a second. So
Okay.
just even me saying like the feeling that something's wrong is already not true. It's just a sensation.
One moment. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so that's just a sensation, and then this label that, oh, that's a feeling that something's wrong, like, or
Yeah, those thoughts also are meaningless. We have so many thoughts, and we're taking them all serious.
yeah.
It's just thoughts. It's like flies. It's like, oh my God, and then having to do something with those thoughts. It's just thoughts. Just like they are there and not there anymore. They're not important. So yeah, you can, but sometimes it's being into it, and then it's already sticky and being into it. And then that sensation, then you can feel also like that sensation when that's there. It's not wrong or right. It's just that sensation.
Yeah. And there's really not knowing what it is.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So what?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. There can be any question. And then when there are questions and there's still a question coming after it and after it, then that's what's going on. There can be two. That doesn't matter. It's just that. Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hey.
I, I just had a question about like, does the personal love completely disappear then? Like the personal love, like the conditioned, I mean, okay, the conditioned one, or the, I mean,
There
what's
can be,
happening
I don't
between two
know.
bodies? Yeah.
There can be feelings.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's no feeling is personal. No, there's just
No.
that feeling. It's not going to someone else. It's that feeling can be there. It's not a feeling between me and someone else.
Yeah.
It's that feeling can be there. It's more that. So it's never personal. It was already never personal.
But for me, it's very personal, right? Like when there's
Yeah, everything is personal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because it seems like it's in my body and
yeah.
everything I'm the center, so everything is happening to me, or what I say is to someone else. So then that relation can be very important, because can be a missing in that way of love, or that feeling that am I loved, or everybody has the different things, some freedom and love, or and then another person can be very important, but most of the time that personal love is more like a need and taking care and things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that, a
yeah.
lot of expectations and things that should be, or yeah.
But that question, like, am I being loved? Does that stays? I mean, because that sounds very like
No, no, that
no, of
doesn't.
course not.
No,
No.
no, never. No, well, it's funny that you ask it. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah. Because I don't know, because it's not always clear, like things disappeared and then like I don't know anymore. So I asked the question, and yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
funny
then
that all that need, also the need of something.
yeah.
That's it. Doesn't. No, it's not coming, or it's not right. No, there's no need or taking care or all that, or do you love me, or all that. No, it's just I don't
Exactly.
know. That can be suddenly a feeling, an overwhelming
Yeah.
feeling, where, oh, and saying I love you, it's to someone. So yeah, just like that. Yeah. Well, that's can be. Yeah.
Because I think this is like there is seeking, right? Like, am I being loved, or seeking for someone to love me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, from that feeling, there's something missing, and there's looking
yeah.
for someone, or it's that personal love. It's a very strong one. That can be very strong in a relation or with children. Or, yeah.
Yes, because I think like as children, I think many children haven't been feel loved or wanted, or so that can be like a thing.
Mm. Yeah, because we assume we live in time and distance, so there's another person, and it seems like I'm feeling like there's something missing, and that's because of my mother was not always there for me, or I said something like that,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something else. So we think that circumstances are the reason for what I feel, and that's in this when we're talking here, there there's no reason for anything. So there can be that feeling, but it has nothing to do with circumstances or a past or anything. So that knocks that whole story down, because that's what we normally do, that it's because of how you did do or not did, you were not there, or whatever you did things. And that's because I can't do that anymore, because I'm very tense now, and that's because of that. And in that story, that's what normally is going on in relation. There's no because, there's no someone, so there's no here someone, but also no over there. There's no over there. There's that body over there, and that can be speaking, but there's no one. So there's no blaming, all that guilt, responsibility, all those things are only in the story. There's so many rules.
Too many.
Yeah, that makes it complicated because people have
Yeah.
different rules. Oh my God. And then you don't even know. And then, yeah, then it's going in that way. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But so I used to think like that for children really like didn't felt loved, that maybe they felt even more separated because it's all what we are seeking. I mean, I think it's that part of us that want to be, I don't know how to say that. I mean, if everything is unconditional love,
Mm.
and as children you don't really feel loved or wanted, that can be like even a bigger separation. Would you see, like not bigger, but
No,
more
that's
strong?
making it complicated. I can't even follow. It's the when there's a child, and there can be, or an older child, like because the very young ones they don't do that. But it's like there's the brain works, so there can be making stories, and this is because of that, and
Right.
already to that there's no one loving me is already a story. There is
Yeah.
a sensation somewhere, and that's it. But we are so used to make it like looking at it and thinking, oh, that's that I feel awful, and that's because of that. Oh, I feel so lonely because of you. No, and then the whole, and then that's that most of the time that's the suffering.
Yeah. So we
The
make the
making,
stories. Yeah. We
yeah,
make the
yeah, yeah,
stories.
yeah. Because that's confirming and making it real, and that's making it into something.
Yeah.
It's that feeling, and after a while, it's already gone. Also, yeah. Well, that's so identified with what I am, and I have a past, and I have parents, and they have done something, or I am a parent. So there. When everything
Yeah.
is, when I'm here, then everything is solid and real already. So that makes the story important, or I am important, or somebody else is important. That already there's complication. It's an it's how can you say that? It's an appearance of it's energy. Nothing is real. So it's that circumstance. Woof, already something else. It's nothing to hold on. But we're not used to that. We hold on
No.
like 10 years ago, that what you did 10 years ago. Oh, there's so many memories in that. Oh God.
But we do have, well, we have memories, and we
Yeah.
keep repeating the stories, and it became very
Yeah.
real, and they
Yeah.
become a
Yeah.
belief system,
Yeah. But
and then we have,
it's not wrong, but
yeah,
it's not wrong. It's so convincing. That's how the story is so convincing and confirming that this is a complete other possibility. But I can also hear that when the story seems so real and convincing, yeah, that somebody can be in that. I did that too, of course. That's so seems the only way. Yeah.
that's all we've got, right? To work on the stories,
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah, we think that the story, that's the only thing there is. And so this is like, this is complete something else, because most therapy and spirituals, everything is about the story. There's something wrong, there's something missing, there's that feeling I'm not good enough. It's because of something that happened and all that. So it's still in the story. And then coming in this kind of meetings and hearing there's no right and wrong, and there's that it has nothing to do with the story. There's no time or distance. It's like that's the freedom, but it's so how do you say, it's like it's too much. It's like, oh my God, that it's like, but it's that identity and that energetic belief, it can be so strong. So that can be an opening, like, oh yeah, that's yeah, and then and then woof, it comes because it's so strong. So there can be that opening, and then woof, and then opening and woof, and again, because that's when that energetic is so strong, then that goes on till it stops. Yeah.
It's like don't take my stories away.
Yeah, yeah. Well, also, of course, because that in one way you think like, oh, I don't want it anymore, and in another way, oh my God, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, yeah.
Because
Because it's
suddenly there are
also,
no stories. Huh?
but it's frightening that there's nothing in your hands. There's no control. There's nowhere to go. It's like helpless. That can be the feeling. It's like, oh my God. So that feeling like a little bit, I can do something. Yeah, can be so strong. Of course, I can imagine that. Of course. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the
But when the
suffering too.
story is gone, it's great. It's really, yeah, it is great. And then they come back, yeah. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and it seems like, and it's like two worlds. When there's the story,
Yeah,
in being in
yeah.
the story, it's like you can't even imagine how that was before. Yeah,
It's amazing. And then you forget even that. You will
yeah,
forget that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah. That's all. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, yeah. Thank you,
yeah,
Rose. Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you. Mm, mm.
But it seems like that the stories like give a sense of like a sense of control. I think like there are stories like it gives like a, you know, a sense of control. Like I can
In the story.
the story, in the story,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. There can be hearing this and already, but that feeling of control can be so
yeah.
subtle because that feels like I can do something or some. It's so it can be so strong. Yeah. Well, it's so
Like
embodied. It's not you doing that. It's so energetic. It's just
but
like
it's
that.
like at least I have a story, you know, like at least I have a story, like it's my identity. It's like you looking at watching a film, you know, like, and then you have all these, you know,
Yeah.
you have a character and you have a story and you have a past
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
well,
Sometimes very tiring. They're like, oh
it
my
is, yes,
God.
it
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes you like the identity, sometimes you don't like the identity,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's also in life, like liking people, not liking people. Yeah. Can be.
yeah.
Yeah. That still goes on. There can be someone, and that's like, oh my God. When I met, oh God. Yeah. Can be like that. Yeah, of course, it's very normal. That life is just normal going on. This is not a special thing or so.
No,
It's just a loss of being able to abstract those ideas about what's going on. But for the rest, everything still goes on. Like, oh, I don't like that. Or, yeah, gossiping.
gossiping, yeah, nice.
Yeah, can be nice. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's not like it has nothing to do with knowing or being in a certain way. No,
Or like
that's
a
the joy. Yeah.
yeah, or like morality, like can I
Oh yeah.
gossip or not? Is it
Yeah.
too
Yeah. Yeah.
bad? Like I'm gonna be punished
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like
There's
that.
so many ideas what you should and shouldn't do.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. And
but
still
we
that
believe.
can be there. That can be so embodied. And there's still there can be ideas. And there's like sometimes it's like, oh, I always thought that's strange. Yeah, why should you do it like that? But that still can be there. But it's not of no importance, but there can be concepts or beliefs that still goes on. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah,
What? So what? Then that belief is there. Mm.
but it doesn't mean so much anymore, right?
No, it's sometimes I there's something about about how to eat. I had a lot of what, and then there were and I'm not busy with it normally, but then suddenly it's like, oh, I always leave a plate, some food on my plate. And somebody said it. I'm like, yeah, that's right. What? It's like that's amazing. There's some idea, and then suddenly, I don't know what it was. There was something I can't remember, but and then suddenly, I think I don't know if it's still going on. I'm not sure, but there was something going on. Like there's such a strong belief. You don't even it's not even noticed. But this is a silly one, but. I don't care, but there can be in all kind of ways. There can be beliefs or embodied, so just some concepts about something. But so what? There's nothing happening. So then that belief is there. That's what we think normally. Maybe it's the end of all of that. Maybe there's some belief, but it's not of no importance. That's more it.
Rose, you should finish your food.
Yeah. Yes, but not in my youth. I think there was something else going on. That I know people have to eat their plate and then they finish. And I think there was something going on, like because then the one who was cooking feels like you have enough and that you're something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's something like that. So there's different rules in different families. It's amazing how that's going on and how long that stays. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, my mother, she used to put more and more food, and she
Ah,
said like
yeah.
finish it, finish it. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Can be also. Yeah. There's so many ideas about that, about food only. Oh my God. Yeah. What's good? Yeah.
But that can be also a conditioning, because it took me years
Yeah.
like to say like, wow, actually I don't
Yeah.
want to eat so much, but I was really
Yeah.
conditioned to eat a lot. So
Yeah.
that also
Yeah.
fell away. Yeah.
Yeah, there can be conditioning, and that still can go on. But I don't care. Then there's still that condition. Yeah, so what? Well, yeah, or that falls away because there's nothing so much anymore. Or that can go on for a while. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Well, when there's me, there's always looking at yourself and busy with what jumping on maybe the food or maybe on how to behave or maybe on something else. When that's lost, there can be some conditioning, but nobody is seeing it, so it doesn't matter.
That's amazing. I'm already seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you put so much emphasis about like, oh, this is conditioning, and we have to decondition, or we have to take
Oh yeah.
conditioning
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. For me, what's jumping on right now is, like moving to a new house, and the house has all new materials. So I'm like worrying about formaldehyde and things that are used in construction, and I want to keep talking to the builder and saying, "Can you choose this paint? Can you choose this wood?" You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I listen to this message, and throughout most of my day, I'm just like not thinking about it, and it's, you know, it's not going on, and then as soon as I start thinking about it, it's really intense. It's like I have to call him, I have to research, I have to
Mm. Mm.
fix this,
Yeah.
for
Mm.
my baby,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and yet I also know that, like, it's probably in the floors here where I'm currently living. So it's just, I don't know, it seems like,
But it's both.
yeah.
There can be like, "Roar," and then maybe that's energy going, and then it should be like that, and then maybe saying that, and that's energetic. So it's going like that. And in other moments, it's different. Then it's different. But there's no, this is better than that. No, it's just different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then there seems to be the right way. It should be less this or no, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's just that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's life. Yeah.
All right. I think it's mostly just fear that I'm going to make a wrong move.
But that's on top of what's going on. Because that's looking at it and seeing how you do it and like, "Roar," and oh, and then looking at it, oh, I'm still trying to do this and trying to, that's me. That whole
Oh.
looking at it and that, but that just jumping in it and saying, phoning that builder and doing it, it's just what's happening. So it can
Mm-hmm.
happen like that. Or
Yeah.
something else. And it changes. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes not. It's different. I don't know. It's not, there's not one person. We think like this is characteristic and she is like that. No, maybe not. Maybe there's just sometimes this and then quiet and then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just impossible to figure anything out. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Because then
impossible.
you know what it comes so because then it's only thinking maybe it's like that. Because you're never sure. It's
Uh-huh.
also always an imagination about what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, great to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to hear you. Shantia, there's someone in the waiting room. Oh yeah, all right. So thanks. Thanks, Rose. Share. Thank you. It's funny. There's talking to there when there's talking. There's looking. There can be that point where, and then there's only that point, that light, and then there's talking. And because we all maybe we understand English, it seems like it has a meaning. It's just sound going on. It's energetic, so the words don't mean anything. It can be understanding or not understanding. It doesn't mean anything. It's just words. It's energy going, and that energy is working in a certain. There's going in a certain way. That's it. It's sound. This doesn't go anywhere. It is. It's sound. It's a hand. It's walling. It's that body. It's a sensation somewhere. It's already that. So it's not somewhere else. It's not something else. It's already that what is happening. So there's nothing right or wrong. That's the misunderstanding. This life is not about right and wrong. Life is. It's what it is. It's very simple. It's ordinary. And when we call it unconditional love, it's unconditional. There's no, this is right, this is wrong, this should be that. So there are no conditions. There are no conditions. It's everything. It's everything. So there are words, there's sound, there's cup of tea. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't go anywhere. That's the joy. That's the amazing freedom that is what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be anything, and it doesn't mean it's nice or it has nothing to do with nice or awful or all that. It's what it is. It can be pain or a feeling or the wall. It's about it. There's sound. There's smell. That's what is happening. It's an appearance of all that. It's energy without meaning, without anything else, then that's it. And it seems like walls and streets and feelings and tables. But that's it. There's no importance. There's nothing better than anything else. It's already everything. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Mm,
Thank you,
Thank
Rose.
you,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank